We've come to the end of another year. We're sitting here in Steinbach City Council chambers to get some idea from the mayor about his thoughts on the year 2011. Mayor Gertson, as you reflect on the past year, which seems to have raced by, what comes to mind?
Well, I think it was a banner year for the city. We saw all the work that's been going on for many years by various councils kind of come to fruition, and we see the results starting to happen. We saw a tremendous amount of building permits. We saw lots of action from the private sector, as well as a new middle school being built and plans for much more in the coming years. So it was really a banner year where we saw the results of a lot of hard work from previous years.
You have a council that was elected just over a year ago with a lot of rookies. How did they perform?
I've been very impressed with my council. Obviously, they come with their own biases. Going through an election, people try and make themselves distinct from others, and they did that. They did a great job of that, and they represent the diversity of our city. And when you're on council, it's a bit different, of course. You have to put some of these biases aside and be able to represent your people, but at the same time come together with decisions. And they've done a really good job of that. We've come up with sometimes compromises, sometimes very good discussions, sometimes almost arguments in a way. But in the end, council has been very mature and very functional, and they've been able to come up with some very good decisions. I'm very pleased with how they've done business this year.
It appears that council engages in respectful debate. That seems to lead you to good decisions.
Absolutely. They all recognize that everyone's opinion is important, and regardless if it's yours or not, you need to allow them to state that opinion and hear them out. And council's done a very good job of hearing people out and eventually coming up with a very good either compromise or changing their minds in some respects. And whether it's my mind that gets changed or others that get changed, it's really functioning very well. It's functioning as a council should, and that we're representing the whole community and coming up with solutions for challenges that we face.
You referred to the speed of the development in Steinbach, housing coming up everywhere you look. Is the city equipped to handle this kind of rapid growth?
Absolutely. What we've done over the last number of years is we've put basic infrastructure in place. We've done large projects such as the lagoon, the landfill, street renewal and sidewalk renewal, and underground infrastructure programs we put in place. This has all been done to maintain what we have and to get ready for future development, and that's been done very well over the last number of years, and now we're ready for the onslaught of new development.
You had a liquor referendum in October, and I think for most observers this marked a sizable shift in the community's thinking. Were you surprised?
Absolutely, and I think it was partly how council dealt with it. We felt very much that this was something that people had to decide, and we all have our own personal opinions on it, and we decided to put those aside and say, you know what, let people decide and we'll go from there. We were all shocked, no matter which side people were on, or or even some people who were indifferent. They were shocked at the change that happened in the community and the realization that, you know what, let's move on, let's continue to build a good community, and we can't control what everyone does. We want to continue to be an open, progressive community, and so that was reflected.
The impetus for the referendum came from business, I think some restaurants and perhaps hotels looking to come to Steinbach. Have you heard from them since? Are they now acting on that interest?
Certainly there's been some. We've heard about Boston Pizza. There are some others that are looking at our community as well. But we also have locally owned restaurants and establishments that would like to possibly maybe change how they do business and take advantage of the new opportunities that they have. So I think we'll see that happen sooner than others moving into the community, and which bodes well for the local option.
So what's on the horizon for 2012?
2012 is going to be another banner year. In fact, it's going to be a year where we have more permits, I suspect, than this year. We've had about $90 million of permits this year, and we're probably going to see well over $100 million plus of permits next year. We're going to have a new high school that's going to be starting to have construction happen. We hope to have the new ER at the hospital being built. We're going to see a new large retail facility being built. I suspect the credit union is going to be starting on their reconstruction or their expansion of their corporate headquarters downtown. We're going to see possibly some other industrial being developed. It's going to be a very exciting year. On top of all those different things, there's going to be a lot of other businesses expanding, I suspect, spending their $500,000 or significant amounts for them on new projects to expand their businesses, because they want to take advantage of all these new people coming to our city. This year we've had about 250 new housing starts. It's this close to a record. That works out to almost 700 or 750 new people coming in 1 year to our city. Very significant. And we're going to continue to see that over the next years, because the ball is rolling, and it's important for us to make sure it keeps rolling and also get out of the way when it needs to, when government doesn't need to be there. So it's going to be an exciting year. We're going to see a lot of housing development and a lot of institutional development as well as industrial. So I've told council to hang on to their hats, because it's going to be quite a year.
Well, Mayor Goertzen, we're in the Christmas season. You have any greetings that you'd like to extend?
Well, on behalf of council to you and all the media that have been covering, I want to say Merry Christmas and thank you for all the work you do. But on behalf of council to our citizens, thank you for making our city a progressive, great place to live and continue to govern. And we'll do our best, and we know they'll do their best to make our city a great place. Mayor
Goertzen, thank you so much for speaking with us today. We've been talking with Steinbach Mayor Chris Goertzen, taking a look back at the year 2011 and a brief snapshot of what's to come in 2012. For Steinbach Online, I'm Darrell Brown.